Now, what kind of an honest YouTuber would I be if I didn't call a DCU movie out for the same things that I call MCU movies out for all the time? Because if I didn't do that, I would be just like every other fanboy on this platform. Let's discuss.
I watch so you don't have to.
Before I get started, I'd like to kindly ask that you hit the like button and please subscribe to the channel for more content just like this.
All I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
So I'm starting to feel like we've been down this road before. And what's that old saying? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And I'm at the point with these movies where I just refuse to allow myself to be fooled again.
If fool me, we can't get fooled again.
The truth is that the superhero genre in movies has been going on for far too long. And when any trend wears out its welcome, you will see the people who benefit the most from the success of that trend start to use cheap tactics to keep people interested. And the biggest tactic that Hollywood is using right now is good old-fashioned nostalgia bait. Because we all know that nostalgia is a powerful thing. It can make an average or below average movie seem a lot better than it actually is. Don't believe me? Look at the more recent reactions to a movie like No Way Home. A movie that was quite literally built and sold to you on nostalgia. And because of that, people welcomed it with open arms upon its release. But then once people actually had a chance to check it out for themselves multiple times, and all the hype is already worn off, and the emotional impact of it is no longer bolstered by nostalgia, people began to realize how flawed that movie actually was. Sure, it's great seeing Tobey Maguire again. Who wouldn't want that? But once you get past that initial reveal, that initial excitement, what is there that is left to be invested in? Shoddy CGI and below average storytelling? And now it's clear to me that WB and DC are very much banking on this Flash movie to be their No Way Home. The only difference being that instead of Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, we now have the legendary Michael Keaton leading this hype train.
Now you want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts.
Now, I grew up on Michael Keaton's Batman. For the longest time, I considered him to be my definitive Batman. And I still believe that Batman '89 specifically is one of the most rewatchable movies I've ever seen in my life. To me, everything about that movie worked. Yes, it was very much a product of its time. But with iconic performances from Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson, and the unique visual style of someone like Tim Burton, that movie became a cultural phenomenon that has stood the test of time.
Life's been good to me.
But I believe that only happened because all those people I just mentioned came together in the right place at the right time and gave us the Batman movie we needed in that moment. Fast forward to 2023, and I'm not even sure what kind of superhero movie we actually need right now. In fact, I can make a strong argument that we don't need them at all.
Game over, man. It's game over.
But I believe because this genre has gotten so stale, mostly due to superhero fatigue, that WB did the only thing that they could think of, in their narrow perception of how things work, to generate some kind of positive buzz for this movie. Because the buzz for The Flash has been mostly negative up until this point. Either due to the constant reshoots and delays that it's gone through, or because its star can't seem to stop kidnapping people.
Talk to you soon, okay? Bye!
Whatever the reason may be, it was all forgotten on Super Bowl Sunday when WB delivered a fresh batch of member berries with this new trailer. Now here's the thing, in a perfect situation, would I love to see Michael Keaton's Batman again? Of course. Would I love to see his iconic suit and his iconic Batmobile in action again? Of course. Would I love to see his character get some kind of closure? A satisfying conclusion to his story that we never got, thanks to studio meddling. Of course, but I don't believe that's why we are getting Michael Keaton's Batman in this movie. Why? We are getting Michael Keaton's Batman to sell us on the idea of going to watch this movie that in any other situation, no one would have any interest in. He's being used as a gimmick, and I think the character deserves better than that. There's a reason that his inclusion isn't being left as a surprise, as it should have been to enhance its impact when you see it in the final film. And that's because if they did that, they couldn't use his image to sell this movie, like they are doing.
I'd buy that for $1.
Outside of Michael Keaton, WB is very obviously and clearly giving DC fans everything they do not want in the Flash movie. In this trailer, we have callbacks to Man of Steel with no Henry Cavill in sight, replaced by some chick with a Leon from Resident Evil haircut.
What the hell am I looking at? When does this happen in the movie?
They kept the style of his suit, of course, but then they just passed it on to Supergirl. Interesting to me that all those people who claim to hate Henry Cavill's Superman are just fine with this version of the character, a female version of the character, looking very similar to him. In the trailer, she even looks to go on what looks like somewhat of a murderous rampage. Remember when people got upset when Superman snapped Zod's neck? But the hate against Henry Cavill isn't manufactured, right? And then we have Batfleck making an appearance in this trailer, albeit with a new look. Yes, Batfleck dons the iconic blue and gray suit. Batman is in a new suit. See, it's different. Please come watch our movie. Honestly, I could care less what his suit looks like. I just want his character to be written in a competent way. You know, the exact opposite of what we got in Justice League. And I'm sure they're going to take this opportunity to also lighten up the character of Batfleck right before they give his character a boot right out of the universe.
Anybody care about what I want?
I do.
Shut up. Get out.
Now this movie could surprise us and give these two iconic versions of Batman the proper send-off that they deserve. But again, with me, as always, track record is everything. In reference to Michael Keaton's inclusion in this movie, what has happened almost every single time when a legacy character returns to cinema after a long hiatus? They are typically disrespected at every turn and used as a stepping stone to propel a new, less interesting character in a passing of the torch scenario. Now, it would have been very easy for me to fall for this hype, but I have to be honest with myself. As a lifelong Batman fan, as a lifelong Michael Keaton Batman fan, it was very telling to me that I watched this trailer and I felt next to nothing. Is that the result of a little bit of superhero fatigue? Possibly. But the other side to it is I've just trained myself to see through the BS, after being burnt so many times before, especially recently. I'd love for this movie to be groundbreaking and to set a new standard for the genre moving forward. But WB first has to prove to me that they are capable of delivering a movie like that. I have zero obligation to give anyone in Hollywood the benefit of the doubt at this point, because they haven't earned that right. And it's going to take more than cheap nostalgia bait and fan service to convince me of that. You want to impress me, deliver a story that allows me to get invested in these characters all over again. Because my standards will not allow their mere existence in this film to be enough. I want more, I expect more, and I think WB and DC should be capable of more.
Put some effort into it!
Y'all be cool. Right on.